Here at Big Tub Dioramas, we prefer to work with wood, but we can do other objects like shells and things to combine onto the driftwood, where the theme is some type of animal carving and usually a wave with a surfer. But this time we're going with animal. What do you think that is? Maybe like a dog running with its ears back? I already know I'm going to make it on the other side. I'll show you. And we're going to combine it with platform tennis. And I've done a little carving. I had to take this piece out. So far, this is going to be a platform tennis court. And it's going to try, what I'm going to do is eventually have this in, hopefully all the way to here, have it sticking out, and then the platform will be out closer, and I have some things coming in the mail for that. And on the other side you have the tail, and you're coming into the head, and this one has a snout that looks, I think, like a warthog or a wild pig. And there's a cool groove for the eye in there. So I've ordered some tusks for warthogs, and I'm going to see if I can make that into a warthog. And the other side, not sure yet. Well, it took a lot of drilling, and the shavings had a nice cedar smell to them, but you can see there's a lot there. I think I'm going to stop here. I was going to have the handle go all the way through, but I think that looks kind of cool. It almost looks like, you know, some kind of animal there is eating the handle. And it still keeps the wave look on the wood, which I really like, the flow of the lines there. So I'm going to leave it like that, and I like that it has that hole on the end. And maybe I'll put some resin around that or something. So let's look at it from the other way. So the entrance is a little bit bigger than I wanted. I wanted that to be a little tighter, but the end of the handle is larger than the rest of the handle, so it had to expand out a little bit. Let's see how it looks from the other side. So this is the primary side. That's going to have the bore, you know, there. The handle coming out. I think that looks pretty cool. We'll get the tennis court that I have coming in on there sometime soon. Finally got my coyote teeth. That's the coyote. He's chewing on the handle of the racket. And I got these little, I had to saw them down, these little incisors. I got 4 of them that are going to fit right in the front, and the canines, the bigger ones, are going to go on the side. And I'm going to have one here, like where it looks like he's got his canine stuck right into the racket. And it was pretty interesting sawing them off. I had to take off my blade for the hacksaw, and I held on to it and just so I think that's going to look pretty good. And we're outside now, trying to make a stand for the boar's head, and I'm going to make a cut. You can see I started to saw there. I'm going to stick it like this, and that'll be the head, and then I'm going to have it so it'll balance on the legs down there. I'll chop them up. So yesterday I made a cut on the stand. I have some blankets around it to pick up the chips, but it wasn't a very good cut, and so I'm gonna use my big angle grinder to see if I can get this head to fit on the stem there a little bit better. So I'm gonna have to work that thing down, this old guy here, and try and maybe get these edges to come down and see if I can get it to fit in with a groove. Should be fun. The bubble's not perfectly in the spot, but it's pretty close, and I think it looks pretty good. I'll have to check it from the other side once we get the tusks on the end there and maybe an eyeball in there. It's going to look pretty sweet. There's going to be a platform tennis ball right in there with teeth coming out of this side. This is kind of like a dog chasing the ball, and the racket goes in the mouth there. But there's going to be teeth in there. And then you'll have the secondary head coming this way. And now it has a neck and a body. This is the boar's head side, or razorback. It's going to be an eyeball in there with a bunch of resin, and we'll have 1 or 2 tusks coming out there, but they got lost in the mail. So this side, I think of the neck, it doesn't look quite as good. The body's not as good, but this is sort of the secondary side. So I actually kind of like that you can see, some of the rings in there a little bit. Okay, I pretty much have the base and the head on both sides. It's all level, but I don't like this gap on the hog side. So I'm thinking about a major change here. It could shake things up. I'm going to have a ball on the other side that the dog is chasing. And I think, there's a natural hole right here. And just this, I just don't think it's a nice transition. So I'm thinking about digging out a hole there and putting a ball kind of in his throat. But the other reason to do it is I can use this surface to drill a big screw up into here, because I know people are going to pick this up from the head, and I want it to be solid. So I think if I put this in, write something funny on it, then it'll cover up the holes, and it'll look like the boar is swallowing one of the balls. Okay, as far as dioramas go, this is a crazy story. So I ordered the warthog tusks from Poland, but they got stuck in the mail. Was waiting, finally ordered these from China, and they said there was real boar tusks. I thought, okay, and so, but it came with these ornamental things on the end of it. And so I'm having to cut through the end so I can stick these on, because that one I got through, and it's going to look pretty cool. It's going to be sweet. So these are real. They're hollow in the middle, and I have drilled enough bone with teeth and stuff to know that these are real warthog tusks. Warty is starting to come together. I gouged out another groove there to fit this tooth in. As we pan out, you can see the other one I have resting against the stand. Just kind of getting a sense of what the general outlook is going to be like now. As we come around. Oh yeah. Trying to get ready to put the head on top of the stand, and the paddle ball is going to go in there, but behind it I want to attach it. So I have this bracket, and I carved out an area in there, and that's going to fit in there. I'm going to screw that in to hold that together, and I'll glue it. But I need to make sure it comes out even. Back on low. I'm always trying something new, and I have the bracket all seated properly, but I need something to hold the top of the head together, so I put some nails in, and I'm gonna, let's see if I can snap that. I'm gonna snap the heads off and then put the top on so that there's something that holds the two together from the top. Every project is unique here at Big Tubs, and I have another little challenge. I think it's key that I'm going to have, I'm going to put yellow resin around the edge, but then I want to fill these holes with yellow resin too, because that's going to look pretty sweet when you light it up at night. And I wasn't sure how to get the resin in the holes, so I measured the width of the holes, and I got some straws on Amazon, because that was the easiest when I looked at several stores. I just did it in 2 minutes there. And I cut them into 1 centimeter chunks, and I'm trying to get them as round as I can. And then I'm going to take some super glue, and I'm going to glue the very bottom, tip them over, and then when I put them and have them glued onto there, I'm going to use a syringe and drip in the resin into that, and then when it's hardened, I'm going to cut it away, and it should fit right inside the hole. So not sure if it'll work, but it's going to be fun trying. The toughest part of every project is doing the resin, and I'm going to fill the eye socket in with blue, and then put in I guess a blue eyeball in there, and then I'm going to do white obviously for the teeth and the tusks of the boar, and I'm going to do yellow for the holes in the paddle and around the rim of the paddle. So I had to glue these down. They might leak out, and I may end up having to just tape the bottom holes in the paddle and do it that way, but I don't know if that's going to work either. So I'm starting with this one, but on we go. Well, I think it's going to work. I took, when these got filled and they dried, I used the cutting knife here, and I cut open each one of these and formed a little circle, and then I took the drill and I sanded down around the edges to smooth it out and make it fit in. And now all of these, they fit in. I'm going to push them down, tamp them down a little bit harder, but I'm going to be able to fill in around the tennis court, and it's going to look fabulous. And what are these, you ask? Those are platform tennis balls, not lemon ice cream, and they are going to just make this whole thing pop. And they're going in a couple secret spots, but I have a little surprise with one of them. We're in a delicate process right now, because you can probably see when I put on the white resin, I had it on the clay and it dripped down, so I'm going to have to shave around the bases of the teeth, and I have no idea which 4 teeth those go into, because I have slots already. You can see right under the front of the gum there. I have the rear molar in on that side and the canine on there, and see how the paddle handle is going to go right in there. That looks cool. So I'm going to have to try to get the 4 front teeth in, and we'll see. We've made some serious progress today. Got the wolf teeth in, chasing the ball, and I got my plugs in the paddle, and the court is going to go diagonally like that. Those light up nicely. And as one of my mentors said, Bobby Ross, here's your bravery test. And this is going to be it, because I have to get this paddle into the mouth on the other side of Warty, and then I got to put that together on top of that and see if I can get it even, and then finish by putting the little tiny players on the court. Little different perspective. As you can see, I'm using the hammer to use as a counterweight to get the platform down in the right dimensions there, and you can see the other side of the wolf right now. His teeth are a little crooked in the front, but did the best I could there. And chasing the ball. Coyote, wolf, your own personal dog, could be any of those. One of the best quotes ever in TV was Mr. T. I love when a plan comes together. And I got it all together. I put the screws in. It's fully locked in. I'm going to fill that in with liquid nails. And I had to put a little throat garnish in because you could see in with the light into the screws. So I put in some crusty seaweed, which will kind of look like, I don't know, something else that it's swallowing. Now I'm thinking maybe, it's the coyote or the wolf in the front that's catching the balls. And maybe this ball is being swallowed by the coyote, not Warty. Warty's just kind of hanging out doing its thing. So the coyote is actually going for a second ball, and this one is going to be right in here. And I think that's going to look nice. Here's how the new and improved Arundel paddle club works. That's the entryway. Has a bouncer, a little Sasquatch. You drive up, you go in the door, take some elevators up. There's a game room in there, foosball, pool tables, open bar, viewing room. And that brings you up to the main gallery. And here you can watch some very fine platform tennis happening. A little battle at the net there. Got some viewing up at the top, right down along the bottom. And of course, JB, our friendly cameraman, right there, getting all that. The elevator can take you out in multiple different spots. And of course, right here is the wolf or the coyote or the dog that has the handle of the paddle in its throat, where it sort of is carrying that along while it's chasing to get a platform tennis ball. And then we move on to Warty. And here's the right side of the warthog. Finally did get the tusks that came in from Poland, which was good because it had the small ones. So a view from the front as we come into the tusks, and you can see the left eye is where we filled in that whole pit with blue, and I wasn't sure what to do about an eye, so I just had mentioned before how I took out this one that looks like a C, but it kind of looks like a moon, which turned out really nicely, I think. And then on this side is where the other viewing room inside the club looks out, or platform tennis ball that's being swallowed. And up over the top, you can see the nice view that the cameraman has with a nice fun game of paddle going on. And that concludes our round trip service until the night comes. Here we are at the entrance of the greatest platform tennis club in the universe, APC, as we take the elevator up and we get to the main event. We have the mixed doubles finals going on. Can't see much, but see the ball over the net. Kind of fun. And we'll check it from this side. Oh yeah, getting a nice dig there. Some of the folks that are watching and filming, ooh, you can see the end of the camera there. Not as much that way. And of course, little wolf man. Chasing the ball. And that t-shirt, the white one, actually makes a nice other eye, which was inadvertent. On to the main event. That is Warty and warthog. And we get over into the moon eye. Nice. I like that view. Definitely looks like a moon. And on the back side, down on the cortican, swallowing a ball. And there you have it. APC in all its glory with Warty.